Ask the aldermen to take their seats. I want to welcome everybody to the March 12th meeting of the New Britain Common Council. The time is 7:02. I'll note that the clock says 6:02, but I did push my... This is public participation, and we invite anybody from the public who wishes to come up and speak. You have 3 minutes. I ask that you state your name and address for the record. And we'll begin with
Good evening, Michael Nizes, 75 Hatch Street, New Britain, Connecticut. I would like to thank all the members that are aldermen here. I wasn't sure 100% who my alder person was, so sorry if I reached out to a couple people. But I'm just calling about it. I did give copies to Miss McAdam, but I'm not sure if the rest were able to get it. But Jubilee Apartments on 608 Allen Street and 630. And a lot of the trees have been cut down. And my issue is with blight, and I'm just looking for help, to be honest with you. A lot of cars are now parking on Hatch that are not residents of that street. In October 23, I put in a C-Click Fix post. It's been now over 2 years, and there's box frame, just because, you know, it's where I live and my kids are growing up. So I'm just asking for help if I can get a petition. Maybe I drove by a lot of the areas that have possible to help. So I'm just looking for support with the ordinance of Section 745 with enforcement and orders of corrective action. Maybe a notice to the representatives of the Jubilee Estate. I did reach out. It is a third-party property management company, and I never got a call back. I called the police, and they were very, very helpful. They came out, and, you know, you guys can maybe help me out, please. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing it to our attention, Michael Knight. Andrew Pope.
Hi, good evening. Andrew Pope, 87 Brighton Street. Just here again to complain about my sewer being... Snow is starting to be a little bit of a problem, where when the melt starts rolling down the hill towards Frank Chase's house, we're starting to see some sewer backup from that too. I have been seeing a lot about really ridiculous to me. Frank's actually not here tonight too, because he's putting in a new sub pump in his house. He just found out that when he put that in, that there's basic current problem. But if you drive by his house right now, they got a whole crew digging out his basement. The whole Allen Street area is just, we're suffering. Like, we need to fix this. I know you're pushing it to the state, but the state, no one at the state level seems to care about this. The governor is not responding to any of these bonding processes. Like, we can't wait for this. You know,
Thank you again, Andrew. Our next speaker is Nico Jamazoka. Let me know, Nico, correct that for me.
Hello, members of the council. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Nico Jarmoshko. I live on 30 Nicole Road. I'm here as a representative of our community's climbers who are seeking access to which is located on the New Britain Water Department's property by Crescent Lake in Southington, Connecticut. Bradley Boulders last year was enforced as not being allowed by the New Britain Water Department. Climbing there started back in the 1970s, concentrated, so it's very accessible for new climbers and experienced climbers. As you may know, recreation outdoors like climbing provides numerous benefits, from promoting physical and mental well-being. I've been working at an indoor rock climbing gym for 3. I climb outdoors often, and I can't imagine my life without it. It's how I relax, have fun, exercise, and connect with other people. Must spend the colder months training indoors to be able to go outside in the spring and summer. And losing access to outdoor climbing areas like Bradley Boulders is only being able to run on a treadmill or bike on a stationary bike. It feels like it limits personal growth and enjoyment of the outdoors. Furthermore, gym memberships like where I work are expensive and not everyone can afford them. Being able to climb outdoors, our country feels pretty divided and the cost of living keeps going up. People need inexpensive outlets that bring the community together. Working at the gym, I've seen toddlers as young as 2.5 to adults in their Bradley Boulders affects many relationships and generations of people. Finally, climbing outdoors is a chance to improve our local economy and bring more tourism to New Britain and nearby towns. Climbers are often eager to try out new and then they have to tank up to get home. So, and they're also interested in other outdoor recreation like hiking and biking, which New Britain has as well. A starting point to open access to Bradley Boulders would be sharing your concerns with owners like with Meriden and Deep. We respectfully ask the council to consider the profound benefits that come with allowing recreation in this area. By doing so, we not only serve current residents. Thank you once again for your time and consideration. We're hopeful together we can create a sustainable and inclusive recreation space that benefits everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nico, about the Bradley. Paul Catanzaro. Is Mr. Catanzaro here? Oh.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the council. On the agenda. Normally I don't speak about federal stuff, but I am tonight because it directly relates to the city and our kids. And I just ask you to keep an eye on it because as we've seen the stuff that's going on in Washington, it's on again, off again, on again, off again, which directly affects us. That's where our school kids get fresh fruit every day. Like I said, it might change. Right now it's cut. Tomorrow they'll say it's not a good idea and reinstate it, but just something to keep an eye on. I'll be a big deal. But I think I would ask our new Secretary Kennedy if that's making America healthy again, from fresh to can. So, and like I said, that's going to affect our kids here in New Britain. I think it's a great program where they can get some fresh fruit that maybe they will not get it anywhere else. So, the city of New Britain and our kids. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Catanzaro. I have no other names on the list. Let me check. Is anybody calling in? Speak? Is there anybody in the room who wishes to speak? Anybody in the room? Anybody in the room? Hearing none, I'll close out public participation at 6:12. And what we normally do is we invite any alderpersons to comment on what they've heard tonight. Alderwoman Scott. So polite.
Thanks everybody for coming out. I like to address everyone who public speaks here every single time, just because we appreciate hearing what you have to say. But we definitely need to look into that. I'm a huge fan of getting our cities clean. There is a lot of garbage around our city and we need to clean up. It's springtime, it's time for spring. Andrew, thank you so much for coming. As you guys have been coming consistently, and that's what's needed to solve this problem with our flooding. And I miss Frank. I'm sad that he's not here tonight. And I hope that his set have flooding, because I have flooding in my home as well. So I hope that that gets resolved soon. And for the outdoor person, I didn't catch your name. Mental health. Being outside and doing activities outside is really great for your mental health, and vitamin D and all of that stuff, and exercise. So I think as long as we can do it safe and it's something that can help our youth, I think we said that before tonight and every night. Whenever there are special occasions that are happening for anybody in our community, please reach out to us. Let us know so that you can be recognized. We want to recognize diversity and love for each other. So thank you, everybody, for coming out. And of course, we want to make sure everybody gets to eat healthy foods. Thanks.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any, President Santiago?
Petition in tonight that will be referred to departments, certain departments that has to deal with the garbage in that areas. And we'll make sure that's taken care of. And again, the springtime, usually spring cleaning, we come out and do some things to volunteer, help out, whatever we have to do to make sure that all the neighborhoods are clean and you know, suitable for the kids especially. And I remember those days when I was a kid when we used to have a box spring or mattress in the back and we used to jump on it. That's why I got a hole in my foot from having one of those nails punctured in my foot. So I understand how that important is to have a clean neighborhood. And then Andrews, again, keep coming. I had personally called State Representative Robert Sanchez, Manny Sanchez, Rick Lopes. They're trying to get it into two different pots. There has one for the Senate side and one from the state, so we're trying to figure out which way the money's coming from, but we later. Nico, yes, definitely. Any kind of activities outside, I support it. Again, we want to get our kids out, get the fresh air, get them to be more active. Just today, I just signed up another kid, never played baseball. Try to get him in, get him outside, get him to play. You know what? If we could get something like rock climbing, I might try it one time. I'm not too fond of heights, so might try it, you know, but he's outside even more attractable. And again, we have a new director in the water department, so he's still trying to get everything kind of, you know, familiarized. We'll get that conversation going and see. Paul, absolutely, Paul. Where you at? Over there, Paul. I understand. Definitely, we have to keep these kids eating healthy. I mean, we have the issues with obesity, which is, you know, something that's been going on. These kids go outside, eat healthy, you know what I mean, productive, being productive. And we are paying attention to the finances because, again, we don't know what's going to happen, and it's going to funnel down to the state, then state to the cities. So we have to be, you know, more cognitive of what's going to be passed on. And everyone that does come, please come. Keep coming. Speak what you have to. If there's anything, issues or whatever.
Thank you, Alderman. Any other members wish to address what they've heard? Alderwoman Belen Saavedra.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Michael Knight, I saw that Margaret gave you her business card. She is our #1 person in the city that deals with blight, so regardless of petitions that move forward and that you have the council's attention, you have the #1 staff person's attention that deals with it, so rest assured that it will be. Those lines, I want to say, as much as we have volunteers come out for town cleanup, we need to stop people in the neighborhoods throwing trash on the streets. And I think we have to take a hard look at the fact that our own residents are littering in their own neighborhood, or I'm behind cars multiple times to throw trash out the window. Very, very frustrating. So it's not just a city employee problem to go out into the neighborhoods and minimize blight, but it's very, very frustrating to have people dump their garbage, and especially bulky waste like mattresses. That's really, really frustrating. I don't know how we resolve people illegally dumping or just people behaving poorly in terms of throwing their trash out, but blight is something we take very seriously, and thank you, Margaret, for getting your business card in and taking care of that, like right in, your timing was perfect. About the rock climbing, I said this before. I don't know if you were here at previous hearings, because we've had rock climbers come several times. I want to access watershed property in other towns that New Britain owns. And my thing is, if we're going to allow people who are not New Britain residents to utilize our property, maybe the rock climbers should create a program for New Britain youth that have to do with rock climbing, so that you're engaging New Britain residents on New Britain property for outdoor activities. My number one concern as an alderman in the city of New Britain is for the New Britain residents. So I agree with all the comments that my colleague said about outside and healthiness. My concern is for the healthiness of New Britain residents and New Britain kids. So if your organization could come with a proposal to Parks and Recs about rock climbing that has to do with New Britain youth, I think you'd get a sympathetic and more active listening to try and actually do something about that. That's my opinion and my philosophy on asking for access to New Britain property, that we also pay property taxes to other communities. Folks, I want to just say that our state legislative body and the co-chairs of the bonding committee came out over a year ago. I walked Allen Street, several aldermen here with me walked Allen Street with them. We thought there would be a quicker resolution to getting state financing of the Allen Street project. It is a huge project that the longer expensive it becomes. New Britain was asked to come up with about 30% of the funding, so that our ask of the state would be considered a more serious ask. We put $4 million aside. The mayor has that money ready to go. We are waiting on the state. So yes, keep coming and keep bringing your concerns. It's not falling on deaf ears, but for the amount of money we're talking about, what has to happen on Allen Street is pretty significant. That project cannot be done without the state. We need legislative action, and they need the money. And the sooner they get the money, then our funds, we could get this project moving. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any other members? Any other members? Seeing none, I just close. To Nico, I'm sure you may have already done so, but appearing at the monthly water board meetings would all help your cause. I've heard from, gotten letters and heard from others who live in New Britain that they would like to see the policy reviewed. I think we have to assess the cost of the city, there's insurance liability, but I'm going to look at Meriden, which has a policy that allows that sort of, you won't find me doing it, I'll continue to walk, but wish you luck in pursuing and advocating that, and starting something for youth is a wonderful idea. This concludes our public participation. Feedback from the Common Council at 7:22. The regular meeting will begin shortly. Thanks for coming.
I reported this
Oh, yeah. All right, if all alderpersons could take their seats, we're ready to get started this evening. All right. Great. Good evening, everyone. I would like to call to order this regular meeting of the New Britain Common Council. The date is March 12th, 2025. The time is 7:30.
Alderpersons McNamara. Here. Smedley. Sanchez. Here. Benoit Saavedra. Here. Simpson. Here. Russell. Here. Barbosa. Here. Hargraves. Here. Malinowski. Here. Pabon. Here. Santiago.
Present.
All here, Your Honor, 15.
Thank you. Can we all please rise for the invocation? It will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Provide our St. Patrick's Day City delegation with a snow-free, warm day for the Hartford Parade. Look down on Mayor Erin Stewart as she provides us with her last State of the City address. Guide our Common Council to record in thy name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Thank you. Before we get started this evening, I did just want to do a brief moment of silence. I forgot to do this at the last meeting, but we have had a former member of this body that passed away recently, and Mr. Brian Keith Albert. Brian Keith was a lovely member of this council. He's been a wonderful so involved in his church at Spotswood. He was someone who was always, even though we were on opposite sides of the aisle, always called the office to check in. He was such a wonderful man, a good-hearted human being. He is somebody that will be missed, and we just want to take a moment just to pray for him, his family, and remember him for the great soul that he was. So please, a moment of silence for former Alderman Keith Albert. Thank you all very much. Okay. After 11 of these, you would think the 12th one gets easier, but it never does. And I suppose that's a good thing, because my dad always told me that if you're nervous, that's good. If you're comfortable, that's bad, right? So tonight, as is customary, the mayor delivers the annual State of the City address at the first meeting in March. So if you'll please indulge me for the next 10-15 minutes or so while I dive right in. Good evening and welcome to all of you. It is a room full of wonderful faces of friends, of commission leaders, city employees, elected officials, friends, family. I thank all of you for being here with us this evening, and to all the citizens of New Britain who are watching. Stand before you and deliver my 12th, but also my final State of the City address tonight. And I'm sure, as you can all know and understand, this is a very emotional moment for me. I've been on the verge of tears all day, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, but we have tissues if we need it. Okay, good. All right, great. The decision I made to not seek re-election this fall was not but it was without question one of the toughest decisions I've ever had to make in my life. And each and every one of you here knows how much time and dedication I've given to this job. Together, along with the residents that we serve, we've made sacrifices with unshakable purpose, and together we've reaped the rewards of our collective work. The last 12 years have been nothing short of transformative for our community. We've grown, we've matured, clearly. We've right-sized, we've focused on results, and at every turn, we put the needs of our taxpayers first and at the forefront of every decision that we made. And typically, these speeches are an opportunity. I wanted to focus on something different. I could stand up here and talk about all the things that we did. I think all of you know that. I've probably posted about it ad nauseum on all of my social channels for the last 12 years. But I want to focus on something different. So instead of listing the accomplishments of my administration, I wanted to share on what it takes to lead this community successfully. In my first State of the City address that I gave in March of 2014, I stated that New Britain was at a crossroads. And when you find yourself at a crossroads, you have to make a decision to go one way or the other. And the crossroads that we were at in 2014, 11 years ago to the day, March 12th, 2014, was when the city was mired in an existential financial crisis and facing a looming state takeover because of our finances. It was much different than the crossroads that we are at today. And I'm worried. I'm worried. And I know that many of you shared that concern because we all wonder what comes next, who comes next. Stability, responsibility, and that's what we all want from our government, whether we live, work, or do business here. It's what we need. We need steady and honest leadership. So we're here to give the State of the City address. So let me say to you, my friends, that the state of our city is only as strong as the hands of the person you put her in. Remember that. Putting our city, putting her in the hands, and I will always refer to New Britain as her because you should, but putting her vulnerable. A mayor who does not lead with conviction, someone who confuses partisanship with progress, someone who is swayed by the last person who speaks in their ear or the siren song of popularity, rather than being guided by what we know is best, even when it may be unpopular. That's not leadership. And it's the fastest way to undo the progress we've made over what you want about me, but you all know that I'm the one who's made her own decisions, that's for sure. I crafted and moved us towards a vision for the city's future that's quickly becoming its present, and I've been bold enough to stick to that vision, even when it wasn't easy. But I'm blessed to have been able to have the strength, the resolve, the team, and the faith to pull us out of some very, very challenging times. In 2014, I stood at this podium at 1 o'clock in the morning in my slippers, true story, delivering my very first State of the City address. It was that late because questions about the future of our city's finances. The late hour underscored the significance of those discussions. There weren't any media outlets here. There weren't any advocates or even members of the public. There was no one here to posture or preen themselves in front of. All of us were here to negotiate, to comprehend, to compromise, not to yell, point fingers, or throw. There was no social media bashing. There was no name calling. On that night, there was respect. We all knew the stakes. We knew the work we had ahead of us, and we agreed that no matter our differences, we would move forward. But we knew the problem, and we knew the stakes, and we knew we were in it together. But somewhere along the way, as circumstances changed, times changed, and new people were elected, many who had served belief that the only way for them to win was for the city to lose. So we arrived at a place where people would simply oppose whatever I propose just because I'm the one proposing it, rather than having the confidence in knowing that when the city wins, we are all better because of it. We may have different letters after our names, but make no mistakes, all of us collectively are New Britain's team. And I don't have to tell all of you that New Britain is a unique place. Our residents and we come from all different walks of life. We're a wonderfully diverse community, not just culturally, but socioeconomically as well. It is a strength, can also make things a little bit complicated, to say the least. But to be a good mayor, you have to try to understand all facets of this community, not just the ones that like and agree with you. Seniors, the working class, the middle class, and even our most affluent have to be at the forefront of the mindset of our next leader. Because the city can't thrive if only one group's needs are prioritized over others. We hear a lot of talk about equity, but I think many are confused by what that means. Equity doesn't mean equality of outcomes. To me, equity means only succeeds when everyone is given equity of opportunity to weave their own story and then drive their own success. Equity means equal opportunity. What people choose to do with that opportunity is what makes this city and this country great. Leadership is never easy, especially in a world where it is eminently easier to tear someone down than work together to build and achieve something great. Being a leader means listening, and truly listening, and understanding where people are coming from. And your decisions have to reflect those. Dismiss someone from an opposing party as being uninformed, but each of us has unique lived experiences that shape the way that we lead. Those experiences shouldn't dictate how we listen to others or how we process decisions. What matters is how we respond and how we work to meet everyone's needs. Over the last decade, I've emphasized the importance. If we aren't growing as a community, we can't keep increasing our expenditures. That's the bottom line. It is that simple. We've been fortunate to not only keep up with our responsibilities, but to also see the skyline dotted with cranes. And we know, right? We know that neighboring communities are experiencing slowdowns. We see that, we hear about it. We're fortunate to continue witnessing this growth all around us. We're continuing to make progress, even as others still face these challenges. In 2024 alone, we completed significant projects, like the renovation of Osgood Park, the opening of the Brit, and the continued progress on multiple other housing developments and throughout the city. We celebrated the completion of our Complete Streets Master Plan. That was an initial investment of over $50 million across all 8 phases, going back to 2012, which has already brought in more than $330 million in private investment to our city. Private money. I put together a strategic plan committee, and I know all the department heads here cringe when I talk about it, but it continues to meet bi-monthly, ensuring that our projects stay on track and our community continues to be Flush program, say it loud and say it proud. That remains a cornerstone of our city's infrastructure projects. We've already invested tens of millions of dollars into making major and tens of millions more to ensure that these projects are fully completed. The work isn't easy, doesn't smell great, and it ain't cheap, but it is an absolute necessity for our future. Our infrastructure is the foundation upon which the entire city sits. So for the city to be strong, its foundation must be strong too. And on the topic of water, decade, I've often discussed the future of the New Britain Water Company. Access to clean, potable water is essential for our daily lives, but more than that, our water is exceptional. And we are, and as one of the last remaining municipally owned utilities in Connecticut, our water company is a precious and an essential asset. That's why we've placed such a strong reliable backup plan, especially in light of recurring droughts that we experience almost every decade. In 2014, I don't know if you all remember, but we came dangerously close to running out of water. We proposed an adaptive reuse of Tilcon's Quarry to build a new storage reservoir, but unfortunately the project was blocked for many political reasons alone. But now this body We'll soon be considering a critical backup plan. We'll be voting on a project that is vital to the future of our city, and that's the renovation of the White Bridge well field, which is located in Bristol, but it's owned by our water department. It's a $40 million investment, but it's going to guarantee of a water shortage. Never again. It will provide us with the means to manage our own water supply in emergencies. It's going to also ensure that we are not at the mercy of the MDC, who never miss a chance to take advantage of desperate times by hiking up their charges on us. This project is a crucial step in securing a stable and independent water supply for our community long into the future. It's going to rehabilitate the White Bridge Waterworks facility. It's going to bring it up to modern standards and regulations and create a reliable, potable drinking water source for the New Britain Water Department. And once completed, this well field will be able to supply over 8 million gallons of water per day to our city. And I hope that the council will enthusiastically support this investment when it comes before them in a few weeks. 238 North Street, a building that has been an eyesore for the North Oak community for decades. By demolishing this long blighted building, we paved the way to begin what will be my final park improvement project. Additionally, this past year, we broke ground on the 4th wholesale school construction project during my time here at Holmes Elementary School. It's going to provide yet another newly renovated elementary school to students when it opens in August of 2026. I've said this at all the events there. Do not forget to invite me to the ribbon cutting. But it takes a lot of work to get these projects off the ground, much more than signing, but it takes a lot more work than just signing your name to a document on a funding commitment. And I appreciate the efforts of our state delegation and the governor in helping secure the necessary approvals. But there's a reason why New Britain keeps getting this money. And that reason is because we actually get these projects done through active management that ensures projects are delivered on time, under budget, and with the best quality, because we deserve that. So I want to take a second to thank that happen. Paul Salina, Jonathan Perugini, Alderman Smedley, Newfield Construction, KBA Architects, Justin Dorsey, our school building committee, and all the city staff that work on these projects. Thank you for the projects a reality. Housing continues to be a critical issue in both the city and throughout the state. Of the complete renovation of Mount Pleasant. And as you all know, this project is going to be life-changing for those who currently live there. The city has done its part. Not only have we committed city dollars to make this dream real, I successfully negotiated a deal on the site to provide more housing than even what was there before. It's imperative that the next mayor continue to drive this project forward by working with the Housing Authority and holding our delegation accountable for getting us that funding necessary through the Department of Housing to make that happen. Very hard this last year, just as we've done the last 12 that I've been your mayor, to continue to better our city. And all the work that's been done and will hopefully continue for years to come has shown that New Britain is no longer the stagnant city it once was, but a city that can serve as a model for the rest of the state in terms of redevelopment and revitalization. It is no secret, it was described in one newspaper, a renaissance. And that's nice to hear. The list of achievements for our city is long and it continues to grow. We're keeping our foot on the gas pedal, and this momentum is going to carry us through until my final day in office. And as I prepare to transition into private life, whatever the next chapter may bring, I'm ready to do my part, but I can't do it alone. So to everyone watching tonight and in the audience and to my fellow citizens, I have a charge for you all this evening. We all need to look in the mirror and ask ourselves, what are we doing to make this community better? How are we going to hold our elected officials to the high standards of which I've held myself? How will we ensure that the momentum we've built over the past 12 years continues? It's only going to happen if we collectively take on the role as This goes beyond merely posting on social media or stalking New Britain Talks and commenting on the posts there. It goes beyond merely being watchdogs or interested observers. It's about taking active responsibility for the future success of our city. We need our citizens to be more engaged, more committed, more willing to do all of our parts. So get in groups. Start one if you don't have one. Join a city board or commission. Call your elected representatives. Write the letters. Send the emails. Show up. Demand action and accountability. Don't take for granted that transparent as this mayor and this mayor's office has been. I know the standard that I've set, but we all have to understand and accept that it's going to be different. The responsibility doesn't fall solely on one person. It falls on all of us. The city is our home, and we need to protect our home. It's what we've built together. It's a reflection of what you've asked for. Or a Democrat thing, it's a New Britain thing. And when New Britain succeeds, we all succeed. And so my charge to all of you tonight is to be vigilant, to get involved, demand the best for New Britain. I need you to continue being the engaged citizens that our community needs to ensure our success for the next decade as we're entering a new era of municipal. I need you to make sure that New Britain doesn't become the rudderless ship it was just 12 years ago. So demand more. Demand a leader who understands both the needs and the wants of this community. Demand a leader who understands that they're elected to do what's right, not what's popular or politically expedient. Demand a leader who's bold, who's decisive, who will get done what we need, not just talks about them. Demand it because we freaking deserve it. I almost said that. It's in my DNA, I'm sorry. And I'll repeat the state of the city once again, because I think it's important to go back to that the state of this city is only as strong as the hands you put her in. And I think it's important for all of us to remember, too, that those hands aren't just the hands of a single mayor or of a single person. Together to make sure that we secure the future of our city. So I said it in 2014, and I'll say it again. We're at a crossroads. We're at a crossroads yet again. But we've been here before. And I know we'll do it again. So State of the City number 12 is in the books. Thank you for this great honor. May God bless you. May He forever bless our beautiful city of New Britain. Thank you. Thank you. Oh man, I did so good, like right to the end too. Thank you. All right, I quit. Santiago, it's yours. No. I'm kidding. Thank you. Give me a second before I do this. I have a point of personal all right, hold on, sorry. Let me put this away. Thank you all very much for coming tonight. Now's all the point where you can all leave if you don't want to listen to the rest of the meeting. I know. Bye. I love you all. Thank you very much for coming. I'm going to go through minutes and then I'll Alderman Santiago at 30.
Oh my goodness. Too much emotions up here right now. Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept the minutes of the regular meeting of January 22nd, 25th, and February 13th of 2020.
On the approval of the minutes. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
No, Your Honor.
No amendments. Before we go into petitions, I have some points of personal privilege requested this evening. Alderwoman Beloin Saavedra.
Thank you, Your Honor. I rise to comment on your last State of the City and of your 12 years of service here. I am lucky to count you as not only a colleague, but as my friend. And I've had the privilege of working with the Board of Education, moving on to Charter Revision, the School Building Committee, and then my last few years here serving on the City Council. To say that I've watched you evolve and become this strong, that inspires me. With our age difference, and it's so funny because people often think that an older person can't find a younger person inspirational. I find you extremely inspirational. Sometimes I don't think people understand the strength that you have and the intelligence that you bring forward. I know that I've commented multiple times, if we're walking around and just having a conversation, the information out of you when I ask a question, it's just so impressive. And whoever takes the wheel from you in the next term has a really high bar to follow. And what you've done for New Britain in terms of its growth and development, you use the word renaissance that's been used multiple times by many sources. The vibrancy that we see and feel in Britain and in our neighborhoods through your commitment to park projects and school renovation projects is very palpable throughout the city of New Britain. I am lucky to have served with you. I really appreciate you. I appreciate the person and the leader you are. And if you could do for the state of Connecticut what you did for the city of New Britain, we would all be the better for it. Thank you, Your Honor.
Alderman Smedley.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Sharon. Very nicely stated. It's a tough act to follow. I stand also to congratulate you, Mayor. Being here with you for the last 12 years has been incredible. It's no doubt, everyone knows, the Mayor and I are two of the best friends that anybody could have. If it's 3 o'clock phone calls or lunch somewhere, you're an incredible person. You're absolutely amazing to run this city, to be a mother to this city, and then a mother to your own 2 children and a loving wife is absolutely incredible. I've watched you grow, I've watched our council grow, I've watched our city grow, and I was proud to be there with you once.
Twice.
But
a couple times.
So we've been through a lot together, and I have to echo everything that Alderwoman Beloin Saavedra said. The respect that you get when you walk into a room is incredible, and I hope that that carries through to a higher office for you one day.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, everybody.
Oh, God. No, man. Thank you. Any other points of personal privilege while we're here? Thank you. We're going to move on to petitions this evening. Alderman Bernacki, listen to me. Mr. Clerk, I wasn't even here when you were an alderman.
Does former Mayor Stewart need some tissues also? Or?
Oh.
Yes, we have 5, Your Honor. First one is from Alderman Santiago to conduct a study into guardrail or other safety mechanisms to be added to the corner of Worcester Street and Paul Street. Adam and Barbosa to conduct a parking study near 75 Hatch Street to convert the area to a no parking zone.
Police Commission, too.
Okay. Number 3 from on the streets near schools.
We'll send that to the Public Works Department.
Okay, number 4 from Anthony V. Schiavone Jr. of Vindicator Cycle and Auto LLC seeking a DMV issuance for a motor vehicle and dealer's license for the property known as 150 Production Court, Suite 2.
City Plan Commission and also to the Zoning Subcommittee, please.
Okay, number 5 from Alderperson Corbin and Pinehurst Avenues.
Police Commission, please.
And that's it, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Not Mr. Alderman. Alderman Santiago for the consent agenda.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion I make a motion to accept the consent agenda of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, K, L, M, N, O.
I have a second
Posted alphabet.
from Alderwoman Sanchez. Any questions or comments on the consent agenda? Call the roll.
Alderpersons McNamara.
Aye.
Smedley. Sanchez. Beloin Saavedra. Simpson.
Yes.
Russell. Barbosa. Hargraves. McAdam. Gibson. Scott.
Yes.
Connors.
All right, resolution number 1, Alderman Gibson.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 1.
I have a second from Alderman Smedley.
This is in reference to language change to the zoning related to business signage, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman Gibson. Are there any questions or comments on item number 1? All those in favor, please say aye.
And adopt item number 2.
I have a second from Alderman Smedley.
Thank you. This is a very simple change in our zoning, and I'm very proud to present it here because this applies to some folks directly sitting in the crowd here. This amends our zoning ordinances to art galleries are compliant with zoning, and so this helps just keep our books in order, keeps trouble off of you guys, and it makes more sense for our planning as a city going forward.
Please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Connors, item 3.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 3.
Seconded from Alderman Santiago.
Thank you. Changes we made regarding the I-2 district to bring permeability from 100% to 90%. This simply makes the lot coverage conform with the prior. It's in an effort to increase permeability and hopefully address flooding in some of our most built-up areas, and I urge adoption. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Any questions or comments on item number 3? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Malinowski, item 4.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item 4.
Seconded from Alderman Gibson.
Ordinances to establish regulations for drive-throughs. Funny story, we actually have no regulations on our books about drive-throughs. So this is going to establish all of them, including not blocking off space, separate.
Please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Connors, number 5.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 5.
Seconded from Alderman Santiago.
Thank you. This resolution's goal is to expand residential options in the downtown area while preserving commercial activity. It creates a CBDR district. It's been discussed thoroughly at the zoning committee. The changes are simply to expand uses while preserving commercial activity, especially expand housing related uses in our downtown area. It's a good resolution.
Alderman, any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderwoman Saavedra, item number 6.
I move to accept and adopt item number 6.
Seconded from Alderman Santiago.
Okay, this is to amend the official zoning map, which is on the second page of the resolution in front of you, to change the S2 and 1480 Corbin Avenue to a B3 district, and to change the T district located at 1485 Corbin Avenue and 1500 Corbin Avenue district. Jack Benjamin, I believe, is here if anyone has any questions on this change, but I urge adoption, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any questions or comments on item number 6? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderwoman Sanchez, item number 7.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 7.
Seconded by Alderwoman Beloin Saavedra.
This resolution is for the amendment to official zoning map. It's to change the Central Business District, New Bright Plaza, and bounded by Washington Street, North Street, and Route 9 to CBDR, which means Central Business District Residential. Change the CBD located along Court Street, South High Street, and Walnut Street to CBDR, and to change the CBD south of Westboro Street and located along R Street, Glen Street, and Whiting Street to CBDR. The proposed zone change area is specifically delineated on the attachment zone change map. Title: Proposed Zoning Map Amendment to change 3 areas of the CBD to CBDR dated January 14, 2025. Now therefore be resolved that the Common Council of the Zoning Authority of the City of New Britain approve the zoning map in this resolution, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any questions or comments on item number 7? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 8, Alderman McNamara.
Thank you, Your Honor. Motion to adopt number 8.
Second.
Seconded from Alderwoman Sanchez.
This is part of the rewrite process of the T single, 2, and 3-family dwelling district located from 331 to 375 Farmington Ave to A2, multifamily, moderate density, that is defined as up to 24 units. I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman. Any questions or comments on item number 8? Just for everyone listening today, I know this is just part of the good work that I'll give Jack Benjamin and his staff, Jeff Cormier, and Jacob Colbath, a big shout out for bringing our zoning code up to the 21st century. Yeah, thank you guys for the work that you're doing on that. Any questions or comments on item 8? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Smedley, item 9.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt resolution number 9.
Seconded from Alderman Santiago.
Thank you. This is a purchase and sale agreement for the property known as 25 Gilbert Street in the city. Property for $7,500 to Mr. Michael F. Campbell, and I do urge adoption. And before I sit down, Your Honor, I also want to extend my thanks to Mr. Cormier and the staff in Jack's office for all the work they have done. Down to thank them, you beat me to it, but it's great having conversations with them on the phone every day.
Thank you, Alderman. Any questions or comments on item number 9? Alderwoman Scott.
Yeah, I'm really happy that we're going to be improving that area because it is Ward 3, which is my ward. However, I just want to be transparent with everyone that we would have been able to sell it for a little bit more. It is appraised at $26,000 and the assessment is at $18,000, so I just want to be transparent about it.
Santiago?
Your Honor, I drove through the area just to kind of make sure that I was, doing my due diligence to make sure that we were going to give a deal or, sell this property and it was something valuable and it's been, deterred and has been taken care of in that area. To have somebody come in and actually put some of their money into reinvest in that district or that area is important, and I urge adoption for this. Thank you. I support.
Thank you, Alderman. Any other questions on this item? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's congratulate Jack, though. Thanks, Alderman Connors. Jack just got engaged. Congratulations to Jack. I think this is the end of your. Congratulations to you and Monera. Congratulations, Jack. All right. All right. Item number 10. Now that we're out, changes here. Alderman Simpson.
Thank you, Your Honor. I rise to make a motion to accept and adopt item number 10.
Second.
The second from Alderman Russell.
Thank you. Basically, in the 70s, the city went through these massive changes with highways. There was a lot of eminent domain processes going on, and the conveyance of property are essentially from the state to the city, and I urge adoption. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Simpson. This goes back to the construction of Route 9 and 72. That's how far back these go. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderwoman McAdam, item number 11.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 11.
Seconded by Alderwoman Beloin Saavedra.
This is to designate, of March as Women's History Month, contributions to the growth and strength of our nation in countless ways. Women have played and continue to play a critical economic, cultural, and social role in every facet of life by constituting. Women have played a unique role throughout history by providing the majority of the volunteer labor force, and women were particularly important in the establishment of early charitable and cultural institutions, leaders in not only securing rights of suffrage, equal opportunity, but also in the abolitionist, I'm sorry, I've been talking all day, this movement, the emancipation movement, the industrial labor movement, the civil rights movement, and other movements, especially the peace movement, which creates a fair and more just society for all. Despite these contributions, now therefore be it that the Common Council and Mayor of the City of New Britain recognize that March is designated as Women's History Month. And I will adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any questions or comments on item number?
Mayor, that we're all beautiful leaders here, and we all work hard, and I'm just so happy to be working with all of you, and to all the other women across work, and we give life to this world, so we're absolutely beautiful, each and every one of us.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments on this item? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Item 12.
I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 12.
Second from Alderwoman Sanchez.
On March 12, 1912, Juliette Gordon Lowe founded the Girl Scouts of the USA, dedicated to empowering young girls with leadership, skills, confidence, and a commitment to service. The Girl Scouts provided invaluable opportunity for personal growth, community engagement, and leadership development, patient to the values of the Girl Scouts, including courage, confidence, and character, while making significant contributions to the New Britain community through volunteerism, service projects, and mentorship. The members of Troop 10700 present, as well as encourage young girls to engage in meaningful leadership and service opportunities. Now therefore be it resolved that the Common Council of New Britain proudly recognizes March 12th as Girl Scout Day and commends Troop 10700 for their dedication, hard work, and service to the community. I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman.
A World Thinking Day event, and they focused on homeless. They managed to make 75 care packages, and they themselves distributed it to the community of New Britain. These are girls ages. Shout out to Troop 10700. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on item 12? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. And adopt item number 13.
Seconded from Alderman Santiago.
This resolution, I'm so happy to be presenting tonight for the second time for where the Quran was revealed to the Muslim community through their prophet, Muhammad, and they say peace and love be upon him. Everyone who is not pregnant, who is not sick, who's not menstruating or traveling will fast up from sun up to sundown during this month. It helps to cleanse and connections with your higher power. And it creates clarity, and you acknowledge your families and your friends and loved ones and break fast together. And after the month, there's an Eid celebration at the end, and it's a lot of fun for the kids and the families. They get together and eat, and seeing other people here in the city that are fasting, it's very polite to say Ramadan Mubarak to them, and then they would say back to you Ramadan Kareem. And I just have a statement that was all kinds of things during the month. But one of our residents here, her name is Ramaz, and I might say her last name wrong, Bashar. Am I saying it right? Hi, Bashir. Is being introduced again this year to acknowledge the significance this month holds for so many people in our community. For us Muslims, Ramadan isn't just their hardships, charity, and connecting with loved ones. But this resolution goes beyond acknowledging our holy month. It also creates a space for greater division rather than promoting empathy and portraying untruthfully things about Islam. Is a global faith practice by people of every city take steps towards encouraging inclusion. It seems like it might be a small thing, but it is a very, on this Saturday, I think it starts at 6:30 at the New Britain High School, if anybody wants to come. It's really yummy food. Urge adoption.
Thank you. Any other alderperson wish to comment?
school district, I'm sorry, they are really doing a lot to accommodate our youth that practice Ramadan, with separate places to pray, separate places to go while they're eating, so different activities. And I just think that's awesome.
Any other alderperson wish to comment? I'm sure they're accommodating the Christian students too that fast during this Lenten. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderwoman Barbosa, item number 14.
This resolution is in recognition of March as Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. Oh, sorry. I make a motion to accept and adopt item 14. Colorectal cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in the United States among men and women. Although there is no cure, colorectal cancer is preventable with screening. Colorectal cancer, and 53,200 Americans died of colorectal cancer, comprising 8.2% of all new cancer cases, and honor the memory of community members and loved ones who have succumbed to the disease. Scott Johnson was a New Britain firefighter from 2007. Scott is survived by his wife and sons, along with the support from the New Britain Fire Department, have raised over $30,000 to fight colorectal cancer research. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the New Britain Common Council designates March as Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman Barbosa. Alderman Connors, item number 15.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good evening. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 15.
Second.
I have a second from Alderman Smedley.
Thank you. This resolution's near and dear to my heart. I was on the Historic Preservation Commission for quite a while, and it's how I got introduced to city government. But this simply brings into accordance the 1996 grand list with the 2025 grand list with regard to keep the demolition delays current and avoid any conflicts. We don't want to lose any historic buildings, and for those reasons, I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman Connors. Are there any questions or comments? Oh.
I would like to rephrase my motion. I rise to make a motion to accept and refer to PZH.
Second.
Thank you.
Motion's been restated. Smedley seconded it. Any discussion on the motion to refer? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion. Alderman Santiago, item 16.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept item number 16 and refer to the Committee on Administrative Finance and Law and Public Service.
Seconded from Alderman Smedley.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is regards to amendments to the tax modification agreement for 321 Ellis Street, and I look forward to the conversation again.
Thank you, Alderman. Any questions or comments on item number 16? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderwoman Barbosa, item number 17 tonight. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there.
For Every Kid Counts after-school program, I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 17.
Seconded from Alderman Santiago.
Every Kid Counts after-school sites, that's DiLoretto, Holmes, and Vance Elementary Schools. It's a program that's run from 3:45 to 5:45 p.m. The initial grant was funded in July 1st of 2021. The money from the 21st Century Community Centers will pay for the personnel and administrative costs associated with the proposed programming period for the period of July 1, 2024 through September 30th. Numbers have been established by the finance director. I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Are there any questions or comments on this? Just the reason why you're seeing this now, yes, the programs have already started. You're doing it. I know. Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Hargraves, item 18 tonight.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 18.
Alderwoman Saavedra.
This is a Connecticut State grant for the preservation of historical documents and non-discriminate certificate. It's an amount of $10,000 and allows the mayor to execute and deliver in name on behalf of the city with the Connecticut State Library for his...
Alderman McNamara.
Thank you, Your Honor. A motion to Accept and adopt number 19.
Seconded from Alderwoman Sanchez.
This is the most recent report from the revenue collector to send funds. The real estate involved is totals $26,362, and the motor vehicle is $20,926. I urge it.
Questions or comments on this? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And the final item this evening, Alderman Connors.
Thank you.
Resolution number 20.
Thank you, Your Honor. I rise to make a motion to accept and adopt item number 20.
A second by Alderwoman Beloin Saavedra.
Very controversial resolution here, celebrating St. Patrick's Day, so I hope you all bear with me, but I will just read this one briefly. Whereas the Irish have been a part of Connecticut's story since at least 1640, shaping early settlements, laying crucial roads and railways, and working in textile mills that propelled the state's industrial growth. Famine of 1845 to 1850, bringing with them vibrant traditions, close-knit community spirit, and enduring resilience that influenced our social, political, economic landscapes. And the city of New Britain proudly counts among many of its Irish ancestry those who celebrate our music, heritage, dance, food, and public service. Whereas St. Patrick's Day offers all residents an opportunity to learn about Irish culture and reflect on the Be it resolved that the City of New Britain Common Council honors and celebrates the Irish American community's contributions to our cities and beyond, and our state, and encourages everyone to enjoy and recognizing the spirit of Irish heritage throughout the year, and to have a very happy St. Patrick's Day. And for those reasons, I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman Connors. Alderwoman
Green blazer for nothing. I stand up as a proud Irish-American woman, happy to represent the New Britain contingent in the parade. Everyone is welcome to come to the St. Patrick's Day Parade this Saturday. It kicks off at 11 a.m. New Britain is once again the largest contingent in the parade, and this year the New Britain group has added a float, and Explorers are in it as well. So New Britain is very proud. Everybody here on the City Council, elected officials, Board of Education has been invited to also march and be part of the parade. So Mayor's charitable donation fund to secure a bus to transport us so that we're able to march in the parade. Otherwise, for other people, the fast track is available and will take you right to the center of it all. After the parade, there is a pub crawl, an Irish pub crawl in downtown New Britain. There are 5 different stops. It runs from 3 to 8, and everyone is welcome to participate in that pub crawl as well. It's a lot of fun if you haven't done it in the past. Sea of Green in downtown New Britain. I also want to say that on St. Patrick's Day, the contingent and the mayor are hosting an Irish flag raising at 10 a.m., and then there's usually some music to follow. So a celebration of everything Irish. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any other alderperson wish to come? Alderman Hargraves.
Just make this meeting just a little bit longer. I can say that as a 1% Irish person, according to my ancestry DNA results, I am also Irish. Flag raising on Monday, and I hope you guys will also join us as well. Thank you.
I love you. I love you. Putting me in the running for the honoree next year.
Yes, and yes, I do have some percentage of Irish too, so happy St. Patrick's Day.
Any other all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Made by Alderman Santiago, seconded by Alderman Gibson. All those in favor, say aye. We are adjourned. The time is 7:36 p.m. Have a good night, everyone. I mean 8:36. Sorry.